Good morning, everyone. Before we get started today, I wanted to ask you to support one of our affiliate partners, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. This company uses the finest organic, non-GMO ingredients in their products. Our featured product today is CHOQ Lit Powder. I use it every morning in my coffee, making it the most nutritious coffee mocha on the planet. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. To find out more, click the link below. They have sales all the time, so hurry and get yours today. Thank you. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I sure did. Slept through the night. Had some really cool dreams. They're really nice. Had fun. It's nice to have fun when you're sleeping. Today we are going to wrap up chapter 1 of the book of Genesis. We went through a lot there, learned a lot, shared a lot of really interesting information. Mostly about how the story is more than just a story. That there's underlying reasonings behind the story. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to take this story and they're going to say it's exactly as written. God made the earth the first day, sun and light, or light and darkness the first day, then the earth, then second day, then the third day he did this, then the fourth day he did this. It's exactly what it is. It's written just exactly like that. That's what it is. Okay. That's fine. You can look at it that way too. Nothing wrong with that at all. There will those who will fight to the death to maintain their thought that God only used 7 days to create the earth. Funny, though. Because, excuse me, while I put on my magic glasses so I can clearly see the Word of God. I have to get another set that fits better. So on the on the fourth day, when he said, "Let there be luminaries in the firmament of heaven to separate between the day and the night, and they shall serve as signs and for festivals and for days and years." The description of the fourth day in the Bible is the day that time began. So, how could the first 3 days be just 3 days? Didn't exist until then. Says it right there. Time didn't start until God put the luminaries in the firmament so that they could ask as signs. How did he put it? So that it could act as so that they serve as signs and for festivals and for days and for years. Doesn't come from Reverend Dr. Ken. It's right there in the Bible. So, was it really 6 days? And how would you measure that? The only way that we measure days is by the sun and the moon being shining on it on this side or shining on the other side. Gotta give credit to the flat earthers. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. You see, did God explain, or did He show that the Earth was orbiting around? No, that didn't happen till the 4th day. So what was used to determine what a day was from days 1 to 3? And what happened when the day was over? Did God take a nap and go to sleep? Did He rush over to his friend's house to watch the game and have a beer? Or maybe some ganja? Oops. Sorry, turned on my heater. So what was used to measure it? So you can't say that it was really a day, because days didn't exist for 1 through 3. Okay. So you can argue the fact that, okay, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, it was really, 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 really 24 hours. How do you measure that? Is there anything that indicates that God was creating anything to measure time on days 1 through 3? No, there isn't. And it's really not possible for us to know. I mean, it could have been that. This could be what they're using to create lines of demarcation between the thing that I did first, the thing that I did second, the thing that I did third. Okay? And this is all to help you understand how God works with creation, so that we can do it here. So that we can remember our conscious oneness with God and manifest things in the physical universe. What do you do first? Well, you think about it. What do we need first? Boom, an idea. Bong. Create a light bulb up there. Wow, yes, an idea. Let there be light. Hey, I have an idea. You see? There's no place anywhere in the universe where light does not exist. Light is everywhere. Just like God. God's everywhere. Maybe it is, let me make something that I can see bright enough. And if you're using light as your reference, how do you make the distinction? Think about this for a second. You're in a room that is so big you can't see the other side of it. Huge. We're talking huge. Okay? And everything is black. There's nothing else in the room but you. And you shine a light in that room. what do you see? Nothing. Nothing changes. Think about it. You're in a room, you're shining a light. Do this at night sometime. Take your flashlight and shine it up into the sky. Or watch what happens in a theater where they have concerts. You know, they have this big old huge light show. It's really awesome. Yeah. Ever wonder why they have to put smoke in there? Yeah. You know that if you didn't have smoke in the room, you wouldn't be able to see the lights. You wouldn't. Because the lights would not have anything to reflect off of. Yeah. True. Go to a theater sometime when they're setting up, if you have the opportunity to, or just ask the lighting guy. Find a lighting guy and go on AI and ask, why do they put smoke in music concerts? Why do they use smoke? Yeah, so you can see the light. Otherwise, they can't make those beautiful things. It's really cool. See? So nothing changed when God said, let there be light. So God had to separate between the light and the darkness so there would be something to reflect the light off of. Shazam. See? This makes sense. It's common sense, right? Yeah. So the concept of days, how was it? Was it really a day? Or was it just an instant? I tend to think it was just an instant. And it didn't take days at all. I like to think that as soon as God thought the thought, that all of these things happened instantly. In that order. Okay? And then he taught man to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, with the wrap up of the first chapter of Genesis, we find that there's a lot of stuff going on underneath this. One idea is that he's describing what happens to the egg. When you think about it, it's surrounded by water. So when God was saying, let me put a firmament in the midst of the waters and let it separate between water and water. We're talking about this disc that has water on one side of it and there's this protective barrier around it called the firmament to separate it from the waters, and it begins to take this picture of an egg. And the reason why I'm saying an egg is because and God made the firmament and separated between the waters which were beneath the firmament and the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. God called the firmament heaven, and there was evening and there was morning the second day. And God said, let the waters beneath the heaven be gathered into one area. That's what's happening inside the egg, because beneath the heaven, that's on this side. And let the dry land appear. All of the cells inside the egg are accumulating into a space. And it was so, and God called the dry land earth, and the gathering of the waters he called seas, and God saw that it was good. God said, let the earth sprout forth vegetation, herbage, yielding seed for itself. And okay, this is the dividing of the cells, because each one has a piece of itself in it. Possibly. I mean, it sounds like that to me. Being a doctor and all, I got to know these things. Doesn't that make sense? Yeah. Could also be describing particles and waves. What happens when you start imagining these things and putting them together in a packet? When you make that clear mental image picture, what does it create? The thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you put in here. See, and those are the things that we want to get into too. What was the emotions of God? What was he feeling with this? When he was creating all of these things, when he was putting all these together, when he was imagining these things in his mind, how was he feeling? Well, he says, he saw it was good. Hey, when things are good, how do you feel? You feel really, really happy. You see? And his resonating frequency was so high, he glowed. That's where all light came from. The perpetual Om, the Word of God. What did that sound like? Now, did God actually speak English and say, "Let there be light"? No. It could have just been a sound, an Om. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? Time to start the new day. Or if you wake up from a dream. Oh. Yeah. I bring that dream into reality sometimes. So with all these things that God is creating here, it gives us the information that's necessary for us to apply those principles to manifest things here in the physical world. And why are we going through this? In the beginning, we said so that we can understand the mind of God, so that we can reunite with God and understand the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that he was going through creation, through this creative process. Because the mystics of the world believe that one of the reasons why we're here is so that we could learn to manifest things in the physical universe. Isn't that what Jesus was teaching all the time? All of these miracles that he did? Isn't that what he was showing to the disciples? Isn't it? Look, we can walk on water. Here, let me show you. I know those of you that are in Southern California and Hawaii, you're like, man, I walk on water all the time, bro. I'm always out there on the water, dude. Yeah, I'm hanging 10 off the end of my board. Maybe it was. Maybe Jesus was a magnificent surfer. and he was surfing. Imagine the waves that he was on when when he was headed out to the boat. Maybe he was just on a surfboard. And he was like, "Woo! Look at this! I'm having a blast." Everybody was like freaking out. Oh my gosh! Look at him! Oh, what's happening? And Jesus is like, whoa, man, this is so much fun. With all these big old huge waves going around, I'm having a blast. And Peter says, hey, let me come out there with you. Sure, man, come on out. Come on. Let's do this. And Peter's first try, he gets taken up by a wave. He's like, that's okay, man. That's okay. Happened to me the first time, too. Yeah, and it happened to me the first time, too, when I learned how to surf. So, maybe. But I like to think he was literally walking on water. Because he kept saying throughout his ministry, if you have the faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, you can do all of these things. All the things that you see me do, even greater things you'll do. And you know that there are people out there that will tell you to your face that what that means is we could build machines to move mountains. Heal the sick and raise the dead. Oh, yeah, that means that pharmaceutical companies will be able to make medicine out of petroleum that will make us well. No. It's not what he's saying. You know, we're not alone in wanting to understand the mind of God. Einstein wanted to understand the mind of God too. You know, he said some really, really, really cool quotes. One of my favorites is, I want to know God's thoughts. All the rest are just details. I thought that was cool. But you know what other thing that I thought was really cool about what he said? He said, we are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into our cosmos. We are souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music. I am the physical manifestation of God expressing itself as me. So, this tells us that he said we are slowed down sound and light waves. God is a much higher vibration than we are. That's why we can't see him with these. But our spirit is a higher frequency. The spirit is vibrating at the frequency of God. And you know, we don't have a spirit. I know, it's hard to believe. We are one. We have a body. We are spirit beings having a human experience. I know. All of this in the first chapter of Genesis. The second chapter is coming. The second chapter is going to be really amazing. There's a lot of really, really cool things in there that are absolutely going to blow your mind. Like the first man didn't have skin. Did not have a suit. Yeah, go ahead, read ahead. You'll see. You'll see where it makes the transition. All right. Well, that's all I have for you today. I have to prepare for the next podcast that I'm going to be giving later. And we're going to be talking about prayer. Yeah, look for that. It'll be on a different channel. All right. Love y'all. Hope you got something out of this. It's really, really, really cool stuff. And please share, like, and subscribe. Please do all that stuff. More likes I get, the more Rumble likes me. Support our ministry. Appreciate that. And until we meet again, I wish you well. Hey, before you go, I wanted to remind you to click the link below to try chocolate powder. It's full of vital nutrients that'll help jumpstart your day. They have sales all the time, so hurry and get yours today. Thanks.